So it will be Shan Masood who moves up from number 3, No Imam Ul Haq, who was off the field with that calf strain. Zana Ways will be very excited for his first bat at Lords. Means everyone will move up one, which is not an issue really, because there's a lot of openers there. Abdullah Shafiq can bat at 3, Babar Azam can bat at 4, so there's plenty of batting. Final words in the huddle. That England side believe that this Lord's pitch is still doing plenty. Just waiting for the umpires. Last time Pakistan combination made a 50 partnership or more in England against England was 1996. Amir Sohail and Saeed Anwar. 2 lefties then, 2 lefties now.
So we can draw all parallels if they are on the positive side of things for Pakistan. Azan Ovais, what an opportunity, would have dreamt of this. It's come at a tender age of 21. Promises a lot in terms of the way his composure is, the way we've seen so far in terms of his batting approach. Technically very good. Yes, obviously a different challenge here at Lords against Ollie Robinson, but he does have a good sound technique. He will have Shan at the other end, who's got a lot of experience in this part of the world.
Interesting that Shan Masood is taking strike. If you remember, Headingley, very first ball of the game was Azana Ways, who was on strike and was dismissed LBW. He got Shan as well from over the wicket. This may be the discussion. Are you starting over or round? The move of the marker tends to suggest round the wicket.
Shan Masood opened the batting when he was in charge of Test captaincy. Got a beautiful delivery, swinger wrapped in front of the pads in that first innings. Talk about the way the batting orders now had to recheck. It almost falls like everybody's automatically slotted into their own positions or where they are most comfortable with. Abdullah at 3 and Babar at 4. Pakistan will require a good opening stand. They will have to be patient. They will have to be technically very good. It's an English bowling lineup that is in good form.
That movement already from round the wicket.
Great exponent of the seaming conditions when he's got the ball in hand, Ollie Robinson.
Nice to see short leg in. We showed you those wickets from the New Zealand game, and Williamson was caught short leg, and that ball has just nipped back in. So Emilio Gay is in play, definitely, for a little bat inside edge onto pad.
Also, Shan sometimes has a tendency to just close the bat face. So anything that might come off the leading edge or even off the bat face straight in, it'll be a sharp, good catch. Our fielder now, Emilio Gay, has now moved slightly straighter. Well, just as I say that, he's taken his helmet off and that plan is now gone.
Yeah, that was a bit odd. We're watching that first ball seam back in. And the other change is he's now going to come over the wicket.
ঢুকতো একবার রিয়াদ কোথায় কি করেছে শুনে আছে
Azan Ovais did take first strike in both innings. Sometimes the senior pro just might put his hand up. Shan Masood now just changing things up and taking strikes of first 3 deliveries, while Azan just waits his turn, watching what the ball is doing from the other end.
बच्चे करेंगे
Movement in again. Good start from Robinson. None for none. Said good start for Robinson, not quite so good. Pakistan struggle with no balls. Robinson in his first over, last delivery. Just over the line. Tight one. Something behind the line, so this should be the last ball of Robinson's first over. Some late movement. Good swing. That's how he got Shan Masood in that game at Headingley with the in-swinger. 1 for none.
Lovely seam position from Ollie Robinson. The faintest of inside edges, saving Shan Masood. As Nat's quite rightly said, very similar shape to the delivery as to how Shan was dismissed at Leeds. So Robinson already causing problems and putting challenges in front of the batsman from the nursery end. Jofra Archer will try and do the same from the pavilion end now. Three slips, a gully and a leg slip. You've seen that position quite often this Test match summer. Can Archer nip one down the hill and away from the left-handers? It's Hadway's first ball.
Oh, another no ball. Ollie Robinson bowled one last over. Jofra Archer started this spell with a no ball as well. Jofra just making sure his marker is in the right place. Every bowler has a cue where they start running from, where they take the drop from. Inward was speaking about the fact that leg slipped straight away. But here's why. The second innings at Leeds, he flicked one straight into Joe Root's bread basket there. He just come in for that delivery. The next ball this happened. So it encourages Joe Root and England to try and have that feel, at least have a psychological edge over Azan Awais early in his innings.
trying for something similar with that delivery. Do you portion any blame to the batsman? Is it just a natural shot? It's on the line, a leg stump, you're just going to turn it round the corner, even though you know that Joe Root is there?
It's a tough one. It's a very instinctive reaction the moment it's there on your body to just allow your bat to come through and flick the ball. Got to be pretty unlucky if it goes to that one person exactly positioned there. But if it's too predictable, then you can end up leaving those deliveries. As long as it's a surprise delivery, then you have a little less control. So far, Jofra has bowled 2 of the 3 exactly around the leg stump. He's trying too hard here, Jofra, I feel. He's gotten a couple on the leg stump, just moving away, and this one way outside off stump. We'd rather have him just make sure that he finds his line and length initially before he moves on to slightly more funky stuff.
Well, there's been early swing for England as well as some seam. Just hasn't quite found the right line and length, Jofra, at the minute.
Even in the first test, in the first innings, he didn't exactly bowl to a consistent plan, but in the second innings, he was much better for the run. He batted quite nicely when he got his turn to bat, so his body was probably warmed up and he was ready to go from ball 1. If you remember, in the first over, he got the wicket of Imam ul Haq. That got him running through that spell. It was important that Jofra hits the straps and make sure his body is up and running.
Two without loss. Interesting with Jofra, you're not saying at all he's bowling slowly. That last delivery was 88 miles an hour, but I was just thinking about Dale Steyn, DK, who, when I did a masterclass with him and Stuart Broad out on the nursery ground here at Lord's, he was explaining his thinking when he first was trying to get into his spell. It was more about trying to swing the ball, get the right line and length. Steyn could bowl quick. But Dale would try and get into his spell, use the swing, and then if it got flat, that's when he started to really let rip. Wonderful bowler.
It's quite a testing line, or rather, over the wicket is testing for Shan Masood. He's had his struggles, Shan Masood, against bowlers bowling over the wicket at this level. I've heard that from quite a few bowlers. With the new ball, they don't try to go full throttle. It's more of swing, just finding the right length. But as you said, if the pitch is too flat, there's not much. Pitch is giving back to the bowler, then they ramp it up.
So different tactics from Robinson to the two left-handers over the wicket to Shan Masood. Zanaway sees around the wicket. 3 slips, gully, short leg. Atkinson is sort of loitering at mid-wicket. Outside the line, I think, but that's in a challenging area. Our first ball of the series was Azanaway, LBW to Robinson at Headingley. Not on this occasion, not hitting him in line. Well, he's asking for it.
Director third umpire, we have a player review for LBW. Original decision is not out, field delivery's go to front on Wednesday. Let's roll it back. Clearly no bet. You can go to ball tracking when available. Ritual decision's not out. Pitching outside, impact is outside. We'll go back to Paul on field and you can stay.
Chris Gaffney is the third umpire adjudicating on that. Paul Rifle, the on-field umpire, getting the original decision spot on. England's decision to review, questionable, and it probably comes from the keeper. You'd have to go to him to try and find the right line, whether it was going to hit him in line. Well, it didn't.
Yeah, I get the feeling the conversation would have been something along the lines of, I have a feeling it would be umpire's call, why don't we give it a go? One thing that did save him was him standing just outside the crease, so he got his front foot outside off stump.
Jamie Smith is going for the helmet, so he's going to come up to the stumps even with the ball very new, only 2.5 overs old. Talking to Sarah Taylor earlier today about keepers up to the stumps. It's been a feature of this Test match summer. This is a challenge though against the new ball, isn't it?
A proper challenge, but I'm liking how Jamie Smith is thinking here. He knows that Azan Awais would have his fair share of troubles if he bats from inside the crease. The LBW becomes a big option. Let's see what Azan does. Is he going to get more aggressive?
Nice, Rick.
We've seen Joe Root at the start against Mohammad Abbasius coming out quite a bit and getting his impact point so different. Just trying to have a look at where Azan Awais stands from side on, and this was the LBW appeal. Let's have a look. Was he outside the crease? Yes, he was, and that probably ended up helping him when he got outside off stump.
Nice, Rick.
Yeah, you called it spot on, DK. Standing outside his crease, got a stride in and outside the line. Now that Smith is up to the stumps, he's pinned in the popping crease a bit more.
Johnny, Rick.
Pinch a single off the last ball of the third over. 4 without loss. Nasser.
Yeah, the last couple of tours of England, Shan Masood's front pad has become a very big target that England have exploited. If I show you a beehive of where he has been getting out on those 2 tours, look at the amount of deliveries that have been very straight, hitting the stumps. England have had some quality bowlers to try and get him out, LBW. Jimmy Anderson from over the wicket, Plum. Stuart Broad, Plum from round the wicket, then Jimmy again, swinging in, and then Stuart Broad just about in line, Stuart Broad, and then Headingley, Ollie Robinson. And just speaking to Broady and Woody, they say they noticed a change in technique of Shan from the previous tour, 2018, when he was a bit open and nicked it a lot. He's gone a lot squarer in his stance, but that's brought in the LBW. So it's a classic case, Wardy, and you'll know as a left-hander, any correction you make from where he was trying to cover the outside edge and kept nicking, he's gone a bit squarer, and that's just brought the LBW into play. It'll be interesting to see what adjustments he makes on this tour.
100%. That broad LBW where he left it was questionable. Sure. If you square up in your stance as a left-hander, I don't know why it seems to be left-handers more so than right-handers, you can get heavy head syndrome and fall over a little bit, and that can bring the LBW into play. Shan just checking his guard and surveying the leg side, mid-wicket. That's Atkinson down at fine leg, just coming a little finer. Archer is over the wicket now. back-of-foot movement from Shan Masood. Archer has his first, England have their first, 5 for 1.
Stuck on the crease, high pace, he's throwing his hands at that. Full, good delivery there. Simple catch to Jamie Smith at a good height. Jofra Archer gets the first wicket now. That would mean he's going to ramp it up with the speed as well. Shan Masood's tough kick opening the innings comes to an end. Goes for 1. Pakistan 5 for 1.
Abdullah Shafiq with runs in the first innings at Headingley, batting at 3 here at Lord's today. Marble Haq has a calf injury. He was off the field yesterday for an hour and 50 minutes. So he's got to serve his time or bat at 7. So everyone's had to shuffle up one, including Shan Masood, into his position as opener, and he's gone. The first wicket for Jofra and England. Quick and nasty. Well, he's ambling down the pitch. I mean, he might be a little bit shocked or in pain, but he was just motionless for a time, and there was a real chance of a run out. That has hurt. Brute of a delivery.
What a first ball to get. He's looking for the link delivery. This one, short ball, he had no clue. I think he was shocked. Have a look at him. The runner is called for the single now. He's looking at the ball and he absolutely ambles across. Good throw from Ollie Robinson. You have to say he was in a bit of shock there after that.
Well, Archer's found a bit of pace and rhythm now. 6 for 1 after 4. Well, it was a heck of a first ball to receive. He's out in the middle because of Shan Masood's dismissal. Full delivery from Jofra Archer and timid footwork.
Yeah, he was very cautious. I remember in Leeds, he came out with a lot of aggression, positivity, played a couple of nice shots, even though they lost a wicket at the first ball. But this one, Shan Masood definitely stuck on his crease. High pace, yes. But the intent to score runs was obviously not there. England getting their first wicket. Shan Masood stuck on his crease. Jofra Archer. You know, when he gets a wicket early in his spell, he can be brutally quick after that.
We were talking earlier, DK, weren't we, about where to stand if you're a wicketkeeper on this pitch, and the challenges that Rizwan had with the slower Pakistani bowlers. I know that Shan pushed at that a little bit, but that carried through nicely to Jamie Smith. Smaller, pacier bowler.
One fielder who would find it quite tricky when the keeper is up, especially with such a hard new ball and knowing that it could very well come to him, is the first slip. You almost have no sight of it when the batter plays because the keeper is exactly in your line of vision as a first slipper. Just have a look how straight in line he is with the left leg of the keeper. So you sometimes tend to miss it for a second there.
Yeah, the keeper up has obvious advantages in terms of pulling the batsman back into his crease, so Robinson can go a little fuller, target the stumps and the pad, but sometimes you give away a little bit if he nicks it, don't you? Harder for the wicketkeeper to take the outside edge, stood up to the stumps, and as you say, duck it at first slip will be slightly unsighted. So you gain something, lose a little bit in another way.
It's a bit of a nervy start from Pakistan so far, and understandably so, because Lords, there's always a bit of movement. This pitch has shown that the Pacers do have something to work with, but so far it's been a bit nervy is the word that I'd use.
It's almost like they've seen the movement that their bowlers received and know it's going to happen to them, and at a greater pace with the likes of Archer, certainly. Movement there.
Nice ring.
Solid in defence to end the fifth, 9 for 1. Have been bowled in Pakistan's first innings, and 9 for 1. And Jofra Archer has found some rhythm and some pace. Tinned Adil Shafiq, first ball, a nasty delivery straight in front of his face. Joe Root subsequently has brought in a short leg.
It's good bowling from Jofra Archer. He's getting Abdullah Shafiq thinking out here. The first ball that he got was an absolute snorter. Short of length, straight into the helmet. Caught a bit of glove. Stumbled across for a single. And now gets his next opportunity to bowl at him and bowls a bumper straight away at the start of the over. That's again a very good bouncer. Not the easiest to duck under.
And that nip back makes it very difficult for right-handers. That's accentuated by the slope here at Lords as well. The question would be, I suppose, with that first ball, DK, is Archer at the top of his run-up will know he's going to bowl a bumper. That's sort of locked in. He knows that one, asks for a short leg.
Yeah, a fair point there. I agree. I like Archer steaming in like this. Even if he bowls a quick 4-over spell, it's a good chance he could pick up a couple of wickets. He's already picked up one. Azan Awais has got to be aware. Archer not only is bowling at high pace, but gets the ball going away with the slope as well. You don't want to be playing at that. But this one was short as an opener and so early in the innings, the moment you see it shot outside off, you don't want to be playing a back punch to it. Just drop your hands and let it go. It's a bit of a nothing shot. If you get an edge to that, you are going to be absolutely disgusted with yourself. You'd rather let it go. I love the bowler to come closer to you. It's not about scoring runs at this stage, even though the intent is there to score runs. Almost getting through this first spell.
He's fenced at that as well. It's got an unusual backlift, hasn't it? It sort of goes out towards gully and then comes back in.
If you look at the way he lines up when somebody bowls around the wicket, he has a backlift that almost goes to fourth slip gully and then comes down, and with his head position going just outside off stump, his leading eye, which is in his case the left eye, will be outside around the fourth stump, so he almost feels like all balls are at him. Three deliveries, identical. Have a look at where the backlift is coming from, also where his left eye is, and that is almost on the fourth stump, so he almost feels like all deliveries are coming into him. He's playing at balls that he should be probably leaving, not this one, but in general.
Testing time for these two Pakistani batsmen. Movement back in up the slope from Robinson.
Rick.
Gap between bat and pad from Abdul Shafiq.
For a couple of times in this series, Abdullah Shafiq, who's batted really well, I think he's lined up really well against his English attack, has found the going hard against Ollie Robinson. So you always have that at the back of your mind as well. It keeps playing, and that's the challenge in a bilateral. You keep coming across the same bowler over and over again, more so in Test cricket. He's coming early, he's facing the new ball, there's a bit of lateral movement. You have to find a way to just get past the spell.
Well, that movement back in has brought a change of field. Leo Gay has gone in at short leg. Take it back to Headingley. First innings dismissal. He played pretty well up to this point. Just that gap between bat and pad. His foot on that occasion pretty much went nowhere, and there was movement back in. But he was castled by Ollie Robinson. Headingley is targeting those stumps again at Lords. Just about there. think a good point about Test match cricket, though. You think of a 5-match series as well. If a bowler's got your number, it's a tough place to be.
It is hard work. That's why your mental fortitude comes into play. Have to find a way to back yourself, get past that spell, that certain bowler.
Was that an edge? No. It's a beautiful bit of bowling.
This is when I go back to the masterclass that Ollie Robinson did with you, where he spoke about how he knows which way the ball is going to seam. The previous one came back in. Have a look at this. This goes away a touch.
This is excellent. Excellent bowling, excellent glove work. 10 for 1. Much brighter day in North London than this time yesterday. But even with those brighter skies, there is still plenty of movement on offer for England's bowlers. Only 2 been used so far, Robinson and Archer again. And he's continuing to challenge the outside edge of Azan Owais's bat.
Jofra Archer has had a few of this now. He starts around the 4th, 5th stump, gets the ball going away, and Azan Owais has followed it. You hear a lot of ex-cricketers speak about how if it is above the stumps, you don't need to be playing any shot unless you're playing a cut or a pull. So the forceful shot, a back foot punch is one of the most dangerous shots. That's quick. That is seriously quick. 92 the previous one, this one at 94. And you could feel it just because of the jump that Azan Owais had. You had to give him some time to just get on top of the ball, so he ended up jumping. This is always a good indicator to tell you how quick a bowler is bowling. Jofra Archer feeling good right now.
Good gas. Challenging your technique and your ticker. Ooh, that's flown through. That is proper pace from Jofra Archer. Joe Root enjoyed that one. Azan Owais less so.
This is the reason why Jofra Archer is part of this format. Because of what he can do when he gets going. Azan Owais, coming from a lot of domestic cricket, would have probably ended up playing this kind of pace, but on a pitch like this, at Lords, with a bit of seam. Have a look at him. Didn't have a clue. He was lucky he didn't get any glove on it.
You look where Jamie Smith took that compared with Mohammad Rizwan.
I don't remember Rizwan taking too many of those at that height. Have a look at Jamie Smith here. Jumping.
He's a tall man too. That's a lovely response though from Azan Owais as Archer looks to pitch it up and swing it. Beautiful cover drive.
That's good bowling from Jofra Archer, tempting the batter. If the weight was slightly further back, there was always an opportunity of an edge, but very good batting from Azan Owais as well. Looking for that opportunity to score. He's got a couple of snorters, but leaned into this one. He'd feel a lot better with this shot.
Yeah, beautiful weight into the ball, no big foot movement. What's Archer's response? Another full delivery with movement. This is a terrific battle, encouraged by Joe Root. Just looking at the speeds, DK, 92, 94, and 3 consecutive 92s.
I think he's going to throw again at length and ask Azan to drive, or is going to be a short one.
Well, short legs going in, so maybe it's a change of length.
All the more reason I feel it's going to be a hard leg delivery and asking Azan to drive again.
Wow, wonderful bowling, but no wicket. 14 for 1. Mark Wood and Stuart Broadview next.
High pace from Jofra Archer, playing at 94 miles an hour in that previous over. Quite spectacular bowling, but away survived and played a nice shot through the covers. Sort of movement, pace, bounce in the surface. Mark would make you want to be out there.
Actually does. I mean, this is unbelievable to watch. Looks like a totally different game. Pakistan out there, they were challenging the front foot. There was a little bit of movement. Then you have the control of Robinson, bounce there, and the pace of Archer. From up here, it's like a totally different game. Great to watch if you're an England fan.
Yeah, it's a good field as well from Joe Root with the short leg in place for Ollie Robinson. He's getting that extra bit of bounce. Yes, moving away at the moment. It's the nip backer that can loop in the air.
Nice, Rick.
From that length that we talked about being key at Lords. You're not trying to chase too full at that movement from the ball that's hitting the top of the stumps.
You just wonder about the heart rate at this end. Obviously, Archer charging into the other. Robinson at this end, trying to keep your emotions level and in check, because when you're facing a fast bowler, you can be absolutely flying at one end, and then you've got the skill of Robinson where you can't switch off. Difficult.
More movement. Yeah, I was speaking to England players this morning, the batters, and they were saying they felt there was movement, a lot of movement in this pitch. It wasn't just going to stay yesterday, it was going to continue throughout. So I looked at the surface, it had dented a little bit, so that means when it dents and we get the sunshine on it, when it hardens up, it just carries through and keeps nipping on the dents. So the England team certainly feel like it's a really good day to bowl. They've started nicely in these 8 overs, just the 1 wicket, but they will know sort of movement that they can do damage.
Nice, Rick.
Do you think it's affected Pakistan with Imam not opening the batting? Would that reshuffle affect you, or do you think it's just the way it is and you just deal with it?
It always brings a bit of carnage, doesn't it? And one of your top 4 can't bat in position. Suddenly Sean Masood's opening the batting, Shafiq up to 3. People just out of their usual roles. I was pretty happy, I would have thought, at the moment, with Archer bowling the speeds he is. Robinson being as threatening and consistent as he is at the moment, doing a good job, because Robinson could easily get carried away with what Jofra Archer's doing, the pace, the theatre, the drama, and start to chase wickets from the end he's bowling. But what he's doing is he's just settling into length and almost going, okay, Jofra, keep charging and keep building the pressure as a pairing, and something will happen. Maiden over, really threatening maiden over from Ollie Robinson. 14 for 1. Which is a better bowler to left-handers, gets that natural movement away. He's really targeting that back of a length. That last over, that was a beautiful shot from Oasis. Easy to get your weight pushed back by the pace and bounce that Archer is bowling with at the moment. He's got to continue to think that that fuller ball is the threat.
Couple of absolute snorters in there. That bouncer, whoa. Archer would be keen to face that.
That's nicely played. The previous bounces he's got, he's looked to almost sway or his hands have been high, but getting underneath, there's no threat of getting out.
Can tell Jofra fancies as he's charging in. His first 5 or 6 steps in particular, he's racing to the crease. We talked about the pitch and maybe being slow in nature, but definitely not slow with the airspeed that Jofra's got going here. Almost looks like survival at the minute for the batters. They're not trying to score, just survive.
And he's one of those bowlers I'm sure opposition talk about to try and not let him get a wicket early, because he runs in differently. If he gets a sniff, if he gets an in, gets a wicket early, then he gets energy in his run up and he bowls really quick. But if you can keep him quiet, then he might just bowl 3 or 4 and he's off and comes back. So with him getting that early wicket of Shan Masood, his pace is right up. Fastest 94.7 miles an hour, and he's got, in his mind, he's thinking, okay, I can get more here, get more wickets. No change of fields. On the leg side, we've got a fine leg and a short leg. 3 slips, 2 gullies because of that movement away.
I wouldn't enjoy that. Would you enjoy moving the guy over? Because I wouldn't want to bowl in the channel, you see. I'd want to make them play like he has been. If you move the guy over at the offside, would it make you want to bowl in the channel more?
I mean, it's the mindset. You've got to be really strong here, that you make the batter play a very offside heavy field. See the 3 slips, and there is 2 gullies actually. Joe Root's just talking to Ollie Robinson at point. What Joe Root might be trying to encourage Oasis to do is to guide the ball through the leg side and get a leading edge to the slip. So just say, okay, there's a gap on the leg side, try and find it. But actually what Archer wants to avoid is that delivery. It's too wide. Probably was a 4 ball that could have gone to the boundary. It is important to keep that line at off stump if you can. Nicely played again. Always. Another maiden. Job for Archer, 14 for 1. Well, England will make their first bowling change of this morning's session. It'll be Josh Tongue comes into the attack from the nursery end, replacing Ollie Robinson, who did a really good job. 5 overs for just 6 runs. Wobbling the ball, finding that movement. So she chatting to Josh Tongue this morning. He said he prefers the pavilion end, but you're not taking Jofra Archer off in this sort of rhythm. So will be Tongue from the nursery end. There's a decent record at Lords. And he's having a fine summer.
And as well, Gus Atkinson prefers pavilion end as well. So you think about bowling partnerships. You mentioned Robinson and Archer, who started together, were fantastic as a partnership. looked like an Anderson and Broad. Now it's over to Tongue and what will be Atkinson eventually, who's just limbering up to follow on the good work. It's been quality stuff from England. They've kept the run rate down, they've looked threatening. You always feel, I was never an opening ball, I was usually first change. You feel that pressure to keep the pressure on and follow up what the lads done, the good work that they've done before.
And we have to give credit to this partnership as well. At the moment, 40 balls have been there. Yes, only 9 runs, but actually in Test match cricket, it's okay just to see out a period of play when the bowlers are bowling really well, as long as you're still there. 20 minutes till the lunch break. The danger is, when you're not scoring runs or putting pressure on the opposition, that the scoreboard doesn't move. That's 10 overs, 14 runs. And suddenly, if you lose a couple of wickets, you're in big trouble. So it's a balance to be had, but if you set that decision up to just stay there till a break, really important you don't give it away.
And also, it looked a little bit cautious facing Archer. You're not quite into the ball the same. When it's that quick, you're not lunging onto that front foot. Almost wary a little bit. So when they do get a loose ball off whoever it may be, got to try and capitalise. But England so far have been superb.
And actually, when you've built pressure like you have as a bowling group, it can be the change of bowling that brings a wicket, because the batter just switches off or doesn't get used to the angle quick enough.
Been talking about Archer's pace, but Tongue has also gone to another level in the last year or so, where his pace has been consistently up there as well. Just getting into his work so far. Can bowl 90 plus consistently as well.
Wide from Josh Tongue in his first over, but it is the third back-to-back maiden, 14 for 1. Just a reminder, it's a slightly later lunch today because of the rain yesterday. 1:15. Afternoon session will be 1:55 to 4:10. 98 overs to be bowled in the day to catch up the overs we lost yesterday. And Jofra Archer's going to have a little rest before the lunch break. A brilliant spell. One breakthrough for England so far, but it was high pace into the 90s, really threatening. Brilliant Test match cricket to watch. He's been replaced by Gus Atkinson. That's a false start.
Nice sit.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know how he's managed to keep hold of the ball. Mr. Lords. 9.5. Wow.
Sort of pitch here at Lords in recent times that he would like to roll around and roll up and take with him. Oh, it's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. And given out and immediately referred. Is this the glove or the shoulder?
Direct to third umpire, we have a player review for Court Pine. The original decision is out, so Field Levy's got a front time when available. scroll that back, looks like it's definitely come off the shoulder. Here we've got shoulder. Can we go to Ultra just see if there's any bat involved? Running through. Okay, clear clap on the left, flat line. Okay, we'll go back to Pellies on ground. Pellies, I recommend you change your decision to not out.
Now, when it's referred as quickly as that, you often think that the wrong decision has been made. Big deflection off the back shoulder.
If you're a Pakistani batter at the minute, you're thinking, what's happening at this end? You've got Jofra Archer steaming in, then first ball from Gus Atkinson's a snorter.
And it's suddenly carrying through to shoulder height to Jamie Smith after seeing it trickle through to ankle height today. Yeah, I think the bowls have been really good, and that's good batting. Trying to rotate the strike. I think particularly with a left-right-hand partnership, just make it a little bit more difficult for the bowlers when you're making the bowlers change their line, particularly over and round the wicket. So I think that conversation of rotating the strike is important, and this is full speed what the umpires saw. Pretty convincing appeal from behind the wicket from the England team. Okay, just getting the short leg protection on. It's quite deep at short leg, so waiting. He's hoping for that inside edge to hit the thigh pad or pad to loop in the air. What's your mindset, Woody, when you get the ball in hand with it's that 13 minutes till the lunch break? You know you're only going to have 2 overs. Is it right, I need to get wickets, I need to make things happen, or do you just settle in?
Well, I was always thinking wickets anyway, but I think you've got to settle into the rhythm and the process that you normally go through, whether it's feeling bouncy and you run up or head towards a target. You've got to think simply to start with.
Nearly a bit of confusion. Right decision. Just take the one.
Any ball, I'll tell you, they want to settle into a rhythm. Even if you've got 2 overs, you just don't want to charge in, spray it everywhere, undo all the good work of the previous 3 bowlers. So, yes, thinking wickets all the time, but settle into the things that tick for you and make you tick. Gus Atkinson knows better than most at this ground what works for him.
Little tweak in the field to put a mid-wicket in. I think that's the right decision. Mark was mentioning about holding the line to the left-hander, being as threatening as you possibly can on your line. It's easier when you've got a bit of protection on the leg side.
And he's a line bowler, you'd say, Gus, whereas Jofra has the ability to sort of swing and shape the ball. Gus is usually a scrambled seam, so he wants that good line, and if the ball hits the shiny side, it goes straight, and he has the protection on that leg side there. Much probably more important for him to have that field right for what we would describe as a line bowler, who bowls that line and just expecting the ball to move either way.
Leave to finish Gus Atkinson's first over, 16 for 1. It's an interesting one when you talk about fielding positions, because you might be looking at test match bowlers and say, well, what does it matter if you have a square leg or a backward point? Just bowl the line you want to bowl. But there's something in the psychology of it when you're running into bowl with no one on the leg side that just makes you throw the ball to the offside.
Absolutely, it's almost like a protection or a comfort thing subconsciously, I think. I mean, the amount of times I've gone, don't bowl leg stump, don't bowl leg stump, and then you end up bowling it leg stump, which is the most frustrating thing. So, it's a strange one, because I will know where the ball would go, being a skiddy, smaller bowler than, say, you, the ball might go elsewhere.
Oh, beauty. Extra bounce. It's where this morning those little dents were in the surface. Josh Tongue just hitting that back of a length and hitting one of those dents that bounce and lifts away from the right-hander.
This is a beauty again. Josh Tongue just held wide on the crease as well. Just back to those fields, Brody. You would know where. You don't have a feel for bad balls, but you would know where the ball would slide off or where it would go. So you would certainly know, especially at this ground, where you want them to hit the ball and where your guys are going to be.
I wonder if the pitch has quickened up today. We're certainly seeing more pace and bounce, but yes, the bowling attacks are extremely different. Pakistan with Mohammad Abbas, Mohammad Ali hit an area and it didn't particularly carry through, whereas Josh Tongue, Jofra Archer, Gus Atkinson are quicker, taller, get extra bounce, so quite difficult to really compare the bowling attacks and the pitch with both bowling attacks, but it certainly is carrying through nicely. Just getting to that time now, 10 minutes just shy to lunch. The batters start playing for lunch a little bit. It's you sort of want to tell your mindset, don't you, Woody, that I'll just play normally, play each ball on its merit, but I do have a half an eye on the clock. Heard Matthew Hayden describe it, that yes, you're batting in your own bubble for a long period of time, but 10 minutes either side of a break is team time.
Used to do my head in, oh, change of gloves, oh, we need a drink, oh, get that off the pitch. Honestly, most frustrating thing ever. And just as I've said that, Josh Tongue's doing his laces. You're trying to get everything in as a bowler now. You want all those balls at the batters. When you feel they're slowing it down, you almost go against their mentality. Get frustrated by it.
Loose drive. Concentration on the last ball of the over. Another maiden for England, 16 for 1. It's been an intriguing day and a bit of Test match cricket. Been very watchable, and the pitch has played quite nicely. You can play a few nice drives. I think of Jamie Smith's punch down the ground and a few of Jordan Cox's drives down the ground. But there are some dents. I went out there this morning to look at the surface and there were some dents on offer. And that's what you get that sort of movement from.
England have been excellent in this little passage of play. Relentless.
Beauty again. Just wonder whether Gus Atkinson's just getting into his work, back of a length. Then at some stage in the next 4 balls, we'll see one at the stumps.
And this is something me and you talked about day one, actually, wasn't it? Was that you don't want to just float it up there at Lords. You still got to hit the pitch, which is why Gus Atkinson tends to bowl well at Lords, because he just kisses the top of the serves where you can really drive it in. And I think the lengths at Headingley are a touch fuller, the average length in here at Lords. A lot past the outside edge. Of course, England's dismissals were LBW and bowled. So it just tells you that actually the top of the stumps, that's where you can attack. But you don't want to just float it up there like you said.
Really good bowling. Building pressure just consistently in the same area, hammering away at this pitch. I feel that if England don't pick up another wicket in this session, the conversations at the lunch break, we keep doing the same things, keep doing our things, building the pressure, it will come, don't chase.
What was it? You'll get your rewards later on, that's the old saying. Keep going.
Put in the work now, you get the rewards later. Driven and down. Goes Harry Brook, diving across Ben Duckett. Whether it's carried to him, he's got a brilliant catch percentage, Harry Brook. Fine slipper. And it did carry. Oh, he'll be disappointed with that.
Very rare you see that, a drop from Harry Brook. Big drive, good length from Atkinson, draws the drive. Touch fuller than the other balls, just draws him in, there it is. Catch it, Harry Brook. Very rare sight that.
Well, he very nearly got his rewards a bit quicker than later on. A good over once again from Gus Atkinson. A chance goes down, 16 for 1.
Sorry, mate.
They went fast and low. It's one of those that you'd really expect to catch. On the drive, did it just dip on him slightly? It's that tricky one, isn't it, when you're in your crouch position, low to your right. Huge appeal. There was a noise whether Shafiq's hit the ground or not. It's like Paul Rifle's going to talk to square leg umpire, so that would suggest that he feels there's been a nick, and whether it's bounced through to the wicket keeper or not, I'm unsure. We're going to have an umpire review, but all the England players went up like there was an edge on the bat.
During the third umpire, we have an umpire review for bump ball. Speed deliveries go to front time when available. Okay, it's clearly bounced first for the bat. If we've got ultra instead, just to confirm, see if there's any bat involved. Bat's obviously grazing the ground. Catch was fairly taken, so we don't need to worry about that. Let's see. There we go. So the bat's above the ground and we've got a spot. Ball past the bat. Okay, ready to make my decision for the big screen.
Well, England do get their rewards. brilliant bowling session from the four quicks. 14 overs for just 16 runs. And after creating a chance in the last over that went down, Josh Tongue gets a drive out of Shafiq. And a little fine edge through to Jamie Smith. It was a bit of doubt whether he hit the ground or whether it caught the outside edge. The England players immediately knew it was the sound of leather on wood. And England are thrilled and deserve that, leading into the lunch break. Collective effort of building pressure. 5 maidens out of 6 leading in to that break, and they get their rewards with a wicket. The final ball for lunch. The change in the Pakistan batting order because Imam ul Haq has got a sore calf, so was not eligible to open the batting. Shah Masood went to the top and Archer got him. The ball that moved away from really full. Jamie Smith has the 2 catches and all the bowlers have bowled superbly. Jofra Archer with brilliant pace, 94 miles an hour with his rhythm, and they built pressure throughout. No let up whatsoever. Robinson 5 over 6 runs. Archer made the first breakthrough. Josh Tongue had just made the breakthrough there after Gus Atkinson created a chance in the slips for Harry Brook. England will be thrilled with their collective work. And that's where the game is at. England got 290 with a fine partnership between Gus Atkinson and Josh Tongue at the end. Pakistan trail by 74. You'd say it's been England's morning for sure. A nice partnership for the final wicket. And then all 4 bowlers have been superb with ball in hand, with movement in this surface with a brand new ball. England on top in this test match so far. For the wicket, the last ball before lunch.